Hello, Rob at John Miller Garden Machinery. Right, so we've come outside today. It's about 30 degrees. So we've come out in the hot weather to try some Ego Strimmers. Today we're going to look at the ST1300, which is the first in their range. All right, guys. So they've got, I want to say, 6 roughly in their range now. But we'll go with the basic one. This is the lightest one. So let's run for a few bits and bobs on it. Runs a 2mm strimmer line. All right, guys. So one of the smaller lines, but ample for home use. 33cm cutting diameter, and on one setting, number one, will give you about 70 minutes of runtime on a 2.5 amp hour battery, their smallest one. All right. Other batteries are available. They all fit in each other, but it makes it heavier. Adjustable handle, loop handle. So just undo that up and down. So one thing to mention about Ego, which I probably haven't mentioned on some of the other videos, is if you notice, green bit, anything that's normally got a green button or lever is all you've got to be like mindful about is using. Anything that's kind of grey and black is kind of fixed. You don't have to touch it. You don't need to touch it unless something's gone wrong. So, you know, like taking the battery out, you know, it's all the bits that are usable for the end user. The caveat to that is, if you obviously redoing the line on this one, this has got the basic line head on it. When you get to the next up through the range, they come a lot easier. Self-loading, power loads, even they bought one out now that regulates how long the line's going to be. So it's clever stuff. But this is their basic one. Again, the green bit is the bounce bit of it, which lets out the line. All right. So it's a nice, simple machine. It's well balanced. You know, hold like that. It's got a 2.5 amp hour battery in it. You know, it's easy to hold. You don't need a harness on it. It's lightweight. You only get the harnesses on the bigger machines. Just to caveat or cover off any questions you might send, no, you can't put a blade on it. It only takes the strimmer line, all right? Most of the time, any battery product that's got a motor at the end in strimmers can only take a strimmer line. You can get plastic blade heads, but I don't believe Ego do those. They just do the line. All right, so anything that's got a motor like that, if you had a proper gearbox on the end, then you put a metal blade. Okay, so that just hopefully covers off any questions about what attachments or what you put on the end of it. Right then, we'll put it in some work and see how it goes. Right, as I mentioned earlier, it's got 2 speeds, and it's literally click as that. We'll start on 1, see what it does, and we'll put it up to 2 and see what the difference is. As always, actually a bit of a point here quickly. As always in this trimming, and this is regardless of any strimmer you're using, you always want this line out as long as possible. So what I'll do in a minute, I'll start it up and I'll give it a knock on the floor and it'll bring the line out to there. Always have it at the longest length available to what the machine does. You do not want to be bringing strimmer line down to here. 1, using more battery life on battery machines, and 2, you're not cutting anything, and 3, it disappears inside and you've got to take the head apart to get it out again. So always have that longest length available. Right then, let's go. And you should have glasses on. Right, as you can see there, normal sort of grass, we're keeping the length long, and it's coped with your normal back garden type of length of grass, nice and easy. We'll put it up to number 2 and see what happens. Right, significant difference in power when you put it to number 2. And again, always keeping that line. People always come in and go, shimmers are rubbish. You know, they always snap off down to here, and again, it's back to this. You keep the line out to a length. Don't over push it for what you're going through. Like we started going through some bit stronger, thicker jit, and it cut it, but you're always cutting on this bit. If I'd gone in like this and snapped it there, we would have lost the line straight down inside. Then we're stopping for 5 minutes, undoing it all and faffing about. So trimming is simple. You can make it easier on yourselves by keeping that line as long as possible and just working your way into the area. But yeah, not a number 2 speed. This is significantly more powerful. Chop through the grass a lot quicker. So for your home use machine, you know, what's a standard back garden anymore? But for a normal garden, dealing with normal grass conditions that you deal with every week, you know, you keep on top of your garden, I don't think you need to look any further than this. So yeah, so a good machine. I think we've started sort of out of 10, you know. It's not going to get 10 out of 10 because it's not going to do everything it does, but you're in a 7, you know, 7.5 sort of territory. Good machine, and that is the ST1300 from Ego. And like always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check us out on the next one.